Hey there everybody, it's Amanda and I'm in my studio tonight just playing with some paint. I decided to kind of loosen up and try something, and I did a little daffodil study. And while I've got this here and it's still a little bit wet, I thought that it would be a great time for me to show you how to make a blended background that sort of incorporates the colors that you've already got here. I had someone send me a private message this week and ask about what to do, how to do it, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to use a brush. I created this painting so far with my palette knife, this one here, but when I do my backgrounds, a lot of times I like to use a brush. And I'm going to show you, this is paper. This is a mixed media pad, but it's usually easier to do this on canvas, but I'm going to show you using this paper. You're going to need your brush to be a little bit wet. But I started out with my sketch in this purple. You can see these little flecks of purple here, and I did that because I know that yellow and purple are opposites on the color wheel and they work really well together. So I've still got some of this purple out. I've also got a little bit of the sap green and some yellow and white. I'm going to get some more white out, and we're going to blend this background and make it work together. All of these colors that we've already put down can be incorporated in your background, and it usually makes your painting just harmonize really well when you do that. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow and start there. So all I'm doing is I'm going to pick up a little bit of all the different colors, a lot of white, and a little bit of these colors. And if your painting is still somewhat wet when you do this, then it's naturally going to just kind of blend in there anyway. And you're just going to want to carefully move around the things that you want to keep. And you may want it to be a little bit darker in some areas than others. And I'm also using this Hilburn brush, which I really like. It works really well for doing this little technique. Now I'm going to pick up a little bit of this purple. You're going to see as I keep going that I pick up a little bit of one color and then I pick up a little bit of another. And that just helps it all to kind of come together. And it just works. I have to wet my brush with a little bit more water. Like I said, when you're working on paper, the paper just tends to soak up your paint. I'm going to add a little more of this purple around here. And if you cover up some things, it's okay. You can come back and, you know, redo that and fix it if you need to. Put a little purple over here. And I'm just switching back and forth with all these different colors. The yellow, the purple, a little bit of the sap green, and I'm just moving around. The white really makes it all blend really well together. So when you're picking up that white, that's what's going to help to blend the colors together and make them work. So let's see, I think I need a little more purple over here. And there's no rhyme or reason to where I'm putting what color when I get done. See, I just picked up a little bit of green when I did that because that green leaf was still wet. Okay, so now we've got just a mix of colors that were here already, that were in the background. They weren't in the background. They were in the painting, and I put them in the background. So let's do this. Go in here and add a little bit of some sap green and white in that little area. Okay, so now that I've got all of these colors really blended into my background, I can take my knife again and I can go back in here and redefine some of these spots that I may have covered up. Need some more green. And you can even, you know, cover up some of the spots that you don't like very much, or make some new places that are darker or are lighter. And then you can pick up some white and highlight those spots. But with any painting that you do, you can take the colors that are in your main subject. Like for this one, we had the yellow and the green, and I added that purple because that's what I began with. It will help the whole painting really come to life. And you add all those colors in. And blend them to your background. See if any of you have questions. Belinda says, is the paint thinned with water so it has a watercolor look? For the background, I was wetting my brush as I was applying it, yes. I feel like I need some more yellow right here. Let's see. Vanessa said, do you pay attention to your light source and do the lighter on that side and the darker on the other with the background? Not necessarily. Thank you all for the stars. That's so sweet. A lot of times when I'm doing something like this, I end up putting a darker base and maybe have an area that's lighter up here somewhere. But I don't necessarily always have an exact spot for a light source. No. I probably should. But it doesn't always have to be really realistic. Yay, Belinda, I'm glad you're here because you're the one that asked me about the backgrounds. And you're very welcome. Thank you, Jen, for the stars. I know there were some other stars. Tammy, thank you so much. And Anne. And Tina. You guys, that's really sweet. Thank you. And Melissa. Let's see. So Belinda was asking about it being thinned with water. Yes, I am using the heavy-bodied acrylics. This right here is not making me real happy. But I took my brush out of the water and then just kind of tapped it on a paper towel and then pulled it through the paint. And that thins it out just enough that it moves around really well, if that makes sense. Thank you, Linda, for the stars. Rosie said, I never liked painting flowers before until now. Yay, I'm so glad. I love to paint flowers. I'm glad you're enjoying it now. So I'm going to try to fix this. I kind of made a mess. But it's fine. If you cover up this up here looks much better. I'm going to have to work on this down here a little bit more. So, would you guys like for me to show you how to paint a daffodil? I can do that too. Let's see, let's make us a spot right here. And we'll do a daffodil right here. So, I'm going to use my purple. And I'm going to just do another one that looks like this one. It's pretty easy to do. So you're going to make like a U shape, like this. And then you're going to put a top on it. And then our petals are going to be longer on each side. And then shorter here around this area. Okay, so it's a U shape with a top, and then we've got these petals coming out of the sides here. Okay, I'm going to pick up my knife and use it. So I'm going to start with some yellow ochre. Ooh, that was a little much, but it's okay. So I've got yellow ochre first, which is just like a dark yellow. And we're going to put that down right here where we have this U shape. And then put the top on it. Then we've got our longer petals. The quicker you work and the less detail you try to put in there, the better off you're going to be. So we've got short petals long petals, and over here more of the long petals. Okay, and I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm going to get my bright cadmium yellow, and we're just going to let those two yellows kind of mix together. But I'm just barely touching it. And then a little bit up here on the top. And now I'm going to take white. I'm going to mix the white with my yellow, the bright yellow, the cadmium yellow. And that's where we're going to get our highlights. So I'm going to put some light around the edge here. I'm going to leave the very center of that pretty dark. Then we're going to put some light here and just maybe tap the tips of what would be these petals here. Now these petals are, you're looking at it like this, so these are just kind of sticking straight out. And then this one over here, we're going to have a little highlight on the tip of it also. Then you can just take some really bright white and make some little spots that are really light. Okay, I'm going to wipe that off. And I need some more green. Dark green. Put that in here. So now I've got 4 flowers, and I like to do things in odd numbers. So I'm going to just put the indication of 1 living right in here. It'll be smaller. And maybe not too detailed. But you can still tell that it's there. Okay. And there you go. So we've blended in our background using some heavy-bodied acrylics, but we used a brush and water, and we used the same colors that we used to create the painting to put in that background. So I hope that was helpful, especially to Belinda, who asked, she had sent me a message and asked about this. I think it was last night. So I'm going to add a little more purple, and I'll take any questions that you guys may have. Put a little more this happy purple color in here. And when you're putting in your background, you can kind of sculpt your leaves or take away things that you don't really like. and then you can come back on top, and that just gives you so many layers and a lot of interest. Knowing your color wheel and having an idea of what's going to work very well together is going to help you with your backgrounds a lot. So, thank you for the stars, Terry. Okay, I'm going to step back and take a look. I can paint flowers, but I'm not very good at growing them, so if I'm going to have any pretty flowers, they're going to have to be on a piece of paper or canvas. Just not good at it, but I'm okay with that. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers. I'm happy with my background now, and I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to do a little bit of just some more work on some of this greenery that I've got here. Got a little crazy with some of it. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Let me see. Hi, Diane. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Pat. And thanks, Kathy. You guys are sending me all the stars tonight. I'm so excited about that. It took me a while to get all that set up so that was possible for my Facebook page, and now I'm happy that it is. All right, let's do a little something that's smaller. When you're doing leaves and greenery like that, you don't have to do it exactly perfect. It can be somewhat abstract and still look like greenery, so don't stress over leaves and things. Thank you, Kathy. Did I already say that? You guys are sending me all these stars, and I'm not sure who I've thanked and who I haven't. But anyway, we're going to stop here, I think. I'm happy with the way that turned out. And I'm going to take a look one more time. I don't see any other questions that I didn't answer, so hopefully this was helpful to you all. And I will see you guys next time. Let me look one more time. I don't see any questions. Okay. Thanks, y'all. I'll see you later. Bye.